Here we go. Hey, good day. My name is Phil the Cruz. Today on Cruising with Phil, I got a special guest, Mr. Shaun Kehoe. Got the name right. And how you doing, Shaun?
I'm good.
Good, good. So tell us, tell the audience who you are and what you're all about.
Well, I'm a personal trainer, but I'm a little outside the box. I specialize in working with people with disabilities,
Mhm.
autism, cerebral palsy, stuff like that. Yeah, you won't see that very common,
No,
and I love what I do.
great. What's your? I looked at some of your background stories. Quite the history you went through, eh, yourself.
Oh yeah, I'll try and sum it up as quick as I could.
No, no,
But
take your time. Take your time. Yeah.
I was diagnosed with hydrocephalus when I was 6 months old. A blood vessel ruptured in my head,
Oh wow.
and I had three brain surgeries. The third one saved my life because they put what's called a VP shunt in my head. And then when I was 13, it happened again.
Oh my gosh.
So I had another brain surgery. And then the scar tissue from that brain surgery started epilepsy when I was 17. I had another five brain surgeries. I was having about 20 seizures a day at one point.
Oh my gosh.
And I was able to, it was a crazy ride, but a combination of operations, medication, exercise, supplements, and I haven't had a seizure in almost 15 years, knock on wood.
Yeah, 15 years. Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Didn't they tell you had a life expectancy of so many years? They told you you're not gonna make it, or I was reading your web there.
Sorry?
Oh, sorry, I was reading your website. I was thinking they said you didn't expect you to live a certain time or whatever. I remember they give you a life
Well,
expectancy.
just when I was a baby and I had the brain surgeries, we weren't sure if I was going to make it. And then the seizures, I had some really dangerous ones.
Yeah.
I had one once where I had a grand mal. I fell down two flights of stairs. There was no carpet on the floor. It was all cement. I smashed my head into the ground. I'm lucky to be here.
My gosh, wow, it's incredible. Wow, jeez. So, how did you get into building your own gym? Like, work, establishing your own
So
business?
so I run out of a gym called Point One. I rent out of it, but personal training is something I've been wanting to do since I was a kid.
That's great.
I was a big wrestling fan growing up, and one day I saw this video of Hulk Hogan in the gym doing squats, and I'm like, I want to do that. So when
I
all
would,
the
I
other
mean, yeah,
kids were
I'm a wrestling fan too, big time.
when all the other kids were getting Nintendos and Nerf guns, all I wanted was weights. That's all I wanted.
Yeah,
So I never was never a gamer, wasn't a video game guy. I'd get so bored of it, and my friends would do it forever. I'm like, I'm going to the gym. See you later.
that's good.
And it was my passion. It's been my thing my whole life. I got sick again. My epilepsy was out of hand from 18 to 26. And then life sort of got back on track. I got myself an office job just to get back on my own 2 feet.
Good for you.
And then a couple of years into this, I'm like, you know what? I've got one life to live. I want to do what I want to do, and I'm going to be a personal trainer.
Great.
So I
Yeah.
started doing that on the side for a couple of years, and then just a combination of I think COVID kind of helped me because
Oh
COVID was
yeah.
scary. Helped me realize, you know what? Again, I've got one life to live. What am I doing? So I jumped ship, and now I'm doing this full time.
Great. So, how did you again doing your own personal training? Like, did you have like because what you train kids with autism, right? And
So I
epilepsy.
train kids, adults, anybody with all kinds of various disabilities. So autism is the most common one that I work with.
Yeah.
And I have epilepsy myself. I train a lot of people with epilepsy. I train a young man. He's 14 or how old is he? He's 12 now, Matt. He started when he was 8. He's got hydrocephalus, epilepsy, and asthma, just like me.
Wow. Is that the picture of the kid I saw in your video in your website? You got it says you got a story to tell, little boy.
There's a whole bunch of them. The one that you probably saw was the one that was up on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah. It
That's
says he's got a
Keenan.
story to tell. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Keenan.
Okay.
The big fella me and Matt, we've been doing this forever. So he's way taller than me now. He's like this big.
That's
He's
amazing.
come a long way too. With his cerebral palsy, he couldn't pick anything up. Like he couldn't hold his water bottle. Now he can overhead press a bar with weights and everything.
That's because of you, all your training, right? It's amazing.
Just pushing him, showing what he can do, and then
So,
the
like,
biggest
you're
thing,
sorry. Go ahead.
big thing that's different between me being a personal trainer is I'm not just sitting here writing down exercises and telling them what to do. There are days where my clients are just not interested in working out, and I have to sit down and just be a friend,
That's nice.
move
Really.
around, play Blade, talk about Fortnite, whatever I got to do. They have to know that I'm not in this just to sit here and give orders.
Yeah. It's like writing programs, making some money, and just moving on to the next client, right?
Yeah, I'm not mine doesn't
That's
run that way
amazing.
at all.
Yeah. So you have to like your program has to be like regular workout programs are like regular, but then you have to, like so cater to each person's needs, right? So that's a little more challenging, right?
Yeah, because everyone, autism is a huge different spectrum. So it depends on the person. Some people are very quiet; they don't want to talk very much. Some people are not very, are nonverbal. Some people are the complete opposite, energy balls. It's just it just depends who the person is. So it's a lot of adaptation throughout the day. For myself, I'm an energy ball, so that's fine. But it's
Yeah.
just some people aren't, and I have to tone it down sometimes. Sometimes I'm too much for some of my clients. Sometimes I'm not enough. So I have to measure from person to person throughout the day.
Wow. So they must like when they see they must relate to you more because your medical conditions and things you've been through in the past. They must know about you. Or do you tell them anything about yourself?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
their parents find out about me through word of mouth or social media,
that's
and
great.
all my information is on my website of what I've been through. So
Yeah,
they get a good background of it, and they can understand there was someone who's been through something similar. So
yeah,
it helps us make a connection really quickly.
great. So you said you do your personal training. You rent out a gym. We do your training.
Yeah, it's called Point One,
One,
and
yeah.
there's a bunch of trainers here. We just rent out the gym from the owner.
Oh, cool.
It's a
And
great
you
spot.
is it you do it like full time, like every day of the week?
Oh yeah, I'm 6 days a week. So
You must have
and
you must be
I do
you
a
must be
couple of
busy
house
then, eh?
calls.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I do a couple of house calls. I go to people's houses, and there's a couple of. Have you ever heard of Angelman syndrome?
Yep, yep. My sister's a nurse. I know a lot of stuff. Yeah.
So I have a client with Angelman syndrome. It doesn't work very well here in the gym with him. There's too much going on. So I
Hmm.
train with him outside in the woods,
Oh, it's good.
and it works really well.
That's amazing.
I
Like
was just with
it's
him this morning.
wow, that's unique. That you're not your typical personal trainer like you see in any gym. Like
No,
like for example,
I'm a
like
different
any
bird.
like a regular personal trainer, like what you do now, like I it'd be hard for him. Like you couldn't say like how you gonna if somebody with autism came to a regular personal trainer, like just a regular guy, fit guy and all like, it's I need to be I would train my son, he's got autism. How would he handle that compared to like you and the regular guy, right? So there's a bit of a spectrum there, about relation wise, and just experience. So that get like with you, it's just like learning experience all the way through, right? Did you
Yeah,
like your
and
first
I work.
did you like your first client? Did you know exactly what you're gonna do the first client you had for your training as a personal trainer? Did you cater to his needs or it wasn't so like a one-on-one?
Absolutely, I had no idea what I was doing. I was absolutely, to be honest, I was terrified.
Oh, really?
I had, well, it was my first chance. Someone just sort of threw it at me, and I was like, okay, we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, that's good.
And it didn't take me very long to figure out this might be my calling in life because I clicked with him like this.
I love that
And
calling in life. I love that.
yeah, my first autistic client. I've been with him now for 4 years. His name's David. He's in a video I released a while ago. And the best thing that happened to us was COVID because there was too much going on in the gym with him. We had to start working out in the woods, and him and I just clicked. I was able to put together a whole workout routine from outside, and then when we were allowed to come back in the gym, I was able to turn a lot of the exercises that we did in the woods into what we did in the gym, and it worked. And now he does everything.
Oh, it's nice. Wow. So COVID helped you be a better trainer, basically, eh?
Yeah, well, it just helped me learn a little bit more and how to
Yeah,
adapt, and it works really well with my autistic clients because that's a big part of working with them is being able to adapt.
great. Did you
And
just put
then
your did you just put your website recently on the Facebook? 'Cause that's the first time I saw it, like 2 days ago before I contacted you.
yeah, that's where I've been getting smashed with requests ever since I put a couple of ads up.
Yeah.
I put one up a couple weeks ago, and then I put it up again. I put a new one up at like 3 days ago.
When I saw your web 2 days before I contacted you, I sat down, I watched it 5 times and I was sitting there, I was actually in tears. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get this guy for an interview, That's
Well,
amazing.
the gentleman that does my videos, Capital Content, Dylan, he's unbelievable. So the stuff that him and I have been able to do together
That's
has just
amazing.
been unbelievable.
I watch your video, your spiel, like you're talking and all I think it was 5 minutes, whatever, 5 or 4 minutes, whatever.
Yeah,
Just like your whole story there. And I was like, because my sister's a nurse and I've been through like many clients with her as even when I was in the military, I met a lot of people. My nephew's now been diagnosed, he's 2 with autism. So they're gonna have to like work with that now. He's only two, yeah, just turned 2. So and also some of our cousins have special needs as well. So that's why my sister became a nurse in that way. So it's interesting, like some of the things you mentioned, right? What I was going to ask you was, how did it feel like the first time you trained a client, or maybe the second one, and you got some good feedback, and how did it feel like when they came up to you and said, "Hey, so much, Sean, you're the great. Thank you so much for putting it out there for me. I didn't know what to do, where to go, whatever."
couldn't hold myself together. I started crying. A mother of David, there, the person I mentioned earlier, just said a few things and told me that he was doing things that they'd never seen him do before. And I don't usually get through this story without crying, so bear with me. But
No problem.
him and I like I said, we used to train in the woods, and in between exercises, we walked around this trail. And he always has to be in front or behind everybody, about 10 feet. He won't walk side by side with anybody
Okay, cool.
except me.
Up to you.
And
Why?
we got back to the house one day in the summer, and his stepfather said, "Did I see David walking beside you?" And I said, "Yeah, we do it all the time." He said, "Shaun, he doesn't let anybody do that. He doesn't let me do that. He doesn't let his mom do that. He doesn't let anyone do that." So you've gotten through that little barrier with him. And yeah, here I go.
It's amazing, you know?
And I didn't plan it. I didn't, we just clicked.
That's
It just
amazing.
worked. And the communication, he doesn't talk very much, but when he does, he uses my lines.
Are you so comfortable with you that you can, pick up their own little barriers that up some people and the way they are, but just that to allow that to trust you, that's just complete trust in you that, has confidence in that he has no cause about anything about it security wise. So that's amazing.
Yeah. His reaction when he comes to the gym and when I go to his place, when I go to his place to do the outdoor ones, I can't even get out of the car and he's just jumping and ready to roll.
Really?
And then
Wow.
he's been accepted very well here in the gym because it's a private gym. It's not like a Good Life or a Movati,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
it's a smaller, so it's like a bar aspect. When you walk in and you know everybody,
That's great.
and he's been welcomed in, and they're all, "Hey, David, how's it going?" And his face turns red, and he starts jumping all over the place, and it's amazing.
I love that. I love the acceptance, just to be accepted and just be noticed, right?
Yeah,
So that's nice. That's nice. So that was that your one of your first clients or your second clients or what?
that was my first autism client I've ever had.
First autism.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I about a year and a half ago, I decided I wanted to work with more people with autism.
Hmm.
And there's a fitness conference I go to every year here in Ottawa. One of the speakers was from Australia. I joined his Facebook group. I went on a overnight conference that he was on, and one of the speakers was from the States who ran a autism exercise specialist program. And I couldn't even I cut the gentleman off. Like I had to unmute myself and I started getting emotional. Look, I work with guys with autism, and I got all excited.
Yeah.
I signed up for his course right away, and I did it. And I just rebranded my personal training towards more with people with disabilities. Went from Shaun Kehoe's personal training to enable the disabled. That's what it says all over my name.
Love your logo. I love it. Enables to what is it? Disable to
And
enable, right?
enable the disabled.
Enable. I love it. I love that.
Trying to give them back the things that the world's trying to take away from them.
That's right. Exactly. Wow. That's
Oh,
amazing.
and that's I've been it took a while to get going, but once it got rolling, the word of mouth started flying around, and it's growing pretty fast right now. And
Yeah,
it's
I've been here all my life. I've never heard of in Toronto any personal trainer. Maybe for like special needs, like personal care, a little bit of training on the side with weights, but never not like you. First time, that's when I saw that website. I said, you know what? It's incredible. I mean, I wish there's maybe you'll inspire other guys out there to do the same thing you're doing. They'll come to you.
if you go on my TikTok feed, there's a video way down at the bottom with one of my other autistic clients. His name's Kai, and he trap bar deadlifts 300 pounds,
Wow.
and his reaction, he's almost done the lift, and he turns at me like, "This isn't even hard." I get so excited. I start slapping him on the back. I'm slapping my hat. I'm going crazy.
That's amazing. I love
And
it.
it went
Yeah.
viral on social media.
Oh, really? Oh, I have to go check out the TikTok. I'll check it out later on there. It's so cool.
I
How
don't
old
do
are you?
too many TikTok videos, but that one just went.
That's good. How old are you, Sean? Can I ask?
I just turned 40 2 weeks ago.
Oh, good for you. I'll be
Oh,
60
two and a
this
half
year.
weeks ago.
40, eh? You don't look 40. You look young. Yeah, it's cool. So what's your like I'd ask you, have you any you do autism? What else do you do? What other your people you train?
So I have a crazy spectrum. So and again, that's another thing about adjusting throughout the day, because I'll work with people with autism, cerebral palsy, epilepsy, and then I have to shift because I work with a lot of young athletes too, hockey players, baseball players,
Oh, okay.
weightlifters, stuff like that. So and it's not the same thing. So it's a button I got to turn on and off throughout the day.
They gotta like switch, yeah, it's kind of funny. But they get kind of routine, you get kind of used to it sometimes, just going back
Yeah,
and forth and all. When you see other
yeah.
guys like the hockey players, when they see the regular guys are seeing you train guys with special needs, autism, what do they say about that? Like they look at you like,
It's been a really good experience combining the two.
Hmm.
So usually I'm finishing with an autistic client when my hockey players show up, and they'll start the training together.
Oh,
And
it's cool.
I've built a really good community out of my clients and everything. They've all been a good part of it. And
That's
it's
great.
helping people with disabilities feel more accepted, building up more friends. Like the David person I was mentioning, he comes in right after one of my clients, and if he sees him doing an exercise that we haven't done yet, he'll take his shoes off and then we're doing this. Let's go. I got to try this. This stuff's
That's
cool.
cool. That's I love it. That's good. See, enticing enthusiasm. I love it. Are you still a W wrestling fan yourself?
Not as big as I used to be. I
Yeah, I
still keep
kind
an
of
eye on
I
here
do
and
know a
there,
lot
but
too. Yeah.
I was a diehard when I was a kid. When I was a
Oh
kid,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was my it
When
was
I lived in the military, I was all over around Canada. I went to every wrestling match, Halifax, BC. I went. There's a bar in Esquimalt, BC, and after the wrestling show, these guys would go to this known bar at the corner, on top of the hill, and all the wrestlers would go in there and have a drink. I drank with the bushwhackers.
oh yeah.
I got drunk with them a few times. They're actually
I know those guys, yeah.
they're nice. They're the nicest guys. They're not. They don't what they put on like the airs and all. Even like I had a drink with I forgot his real name. I call him the Undertaker, right? Undertaker.
Oh yeah, he was one of my favorites.
They're all like nice, super guys. This bar's a regular, been there for a while. So in Halifax, I've seen every wrestler. I stopped. I think last wrestler I saw was Sid Vicious or Sid Justice, and then he battled the Undertaker. That was the last time I started going to all the matches. But I used to go over regular Maple Leaf Gardens, Halifax, Esquimalt, Newfoundland. And they always put it's
Yeah,
all you watch. It's always a different audience when you come to Canada. It's a completely different audience when you see in the States. It's more kind of a homey bunch, like a home bunch. I saw WrestleMania when it came to Toronto back in
yeah, I was there. I was
you
there.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
I got like last minute tickets. I was up based in Borden in the military and I phoned like at 3:30, they got like two extra tickets. So I had half an hour to get from Borden down to Toronto.
I
And
was
I
there with my
just
uncle and like five of my buddies.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
that's amazing. I think that's the only time WrestleMania came to Toronto, I think. Was it just the one time?
I think there were two of them, wasn't there?
Was it two?
I can't remember, but I was at that. I was at that one when
Yeah,
The
and I was
Rock went
also
at it
I
with
was at
Hollywood
the
Hulk Hogan there. I was
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. And I was at
Oh yeah,
the
I was.
I went to the first Raw in Monday Night Raw and Skydome there. That was the first time he came to Montreal, came to Toronto. That was very for that when they had
I
the
went to
you went to that one too?
back in the early days. I went to all the ones
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's
all
amazing. Yeah.
Raw and all that stuff. I never missed those.
I love that. Yeah. And now I try to get my nephews into my sister and brother don't want them doing wrestling. I mean, wrestling's wrestling,. But this is a different kind of wrestling. So
Yeah.
it's great. So I was gonna ask you, have you been talking about like your own self setting up your own kind of a precedence for people want to come and train and learn off you? Teaching kids and special needs and autism. Like, you ever thought like not like branching out, but more like mentoring?
Yeah, it's in the plan. I've tried it a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's I'm having a hard time right now because the personal trainers that I meet are not willing to go outside the box. They're sort of thinking, okay, what I did in class is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That's not how it works with a person with a disability,
Oh, that's
a
yeah.
person with autism, and they're kind of stuck in their ways and they won't shift. So I'm trying to find I'm meeting with a gentleman next week that I might be
Okay.
working with. But
That's
yes,
funny. That's funny. They won't
I'm looking to
shift it.
help other people and just sort of open their spectrum a little bit and just
Yeah.
willing to adjust a little bit.
Yeah.
But
That's
if
funny.
I need help, I need help here in Ottawa first because I'm running out of. I'm booked through the roof here. I need help.
Oh, really? Wow. Have you thought about advertising? Well, you said like they won't move. How come they won't move out of the box? If they know what you're all about, they come to work with you. Why don't they get out of the scope of just a fixation on a certain way you're training? Why is that? Because they know what you're about, right? They already know how you train. They've seen it on your videos.
I guess it's just not what they signed up for. They weren't ready for it. 'Cause it's not the same thing because there's days where training doesn't matter.
Yeah, like you
Where,
said
yeah,
earlier.
like I
Yeah.
have to sit there and talk about Blade and Fortnite for an hour, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I have to have that kind of when you're working with someone with autism or any kind of a disability, if you can't build a relationship with them, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
If they can't trust you and you can't get in that little barrier, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
If they can't tell you that you care, again, they're going to want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So you have
So
to do
then
that part first. And a lot of
yeah,
people don't want to do that work first.
yeah. They wanted a strict regimen of like training, pay, and that's it. But
And
that's important.
they're worried about what other people think. Because yes, it
Really?
looks a little unorthodox what I'm doing, because of what I've been through with my brain surgeries,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be rude, but I couldn't care less when anybody thinks. It is what it is. You don't
yeah.
like it, I don't care.
Well, that's what I mean. They know what
If it's helping this person, that's what matters.
well, they know your story. They come to work with you, and they have this attitude like they're what embarrassed or whatever to train a certain way. I mean, that's what personal training is about. Catering to the client, not to yourself. Not being
Exactly. And
not
then
following my way. I'm a person.
worrying about
Not
what other people think doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's I get this. Well, even though I go to the gym quite often. Like when I was younger, I used to do a lot. But it's just the whole spectrum mode of the whole that fixation about a certain image. Image is so important to some people, even if they're personal trainers. They got to look a certain way and all that stuff. I was telling the story years ago. I was in the gym and there's a guy, personal trainer, regularly. I trained this very stout guy. He was wanted to lose weight. It was a very crowded, very Italian neighborhood, and all these Italian guys are just all muscle guys, good looking guys, nice body. They're walking by and they're laughing their heads off at this guy, right? And this guy's really training hard, and he's like sweating away, and he's got this personal trainer there, and they're walking. I thought it was rude. So, anyways, in the change room, I saw him later on, and I went up to him and I said, "You know what?" I said, "Buddy, I want to tell you that you're the hardest worker I saw today training this gym. Forget the other guys." I shook his hand. He says to me, "You know what? I didn't expect a guy like you, the way you look, to talk to me." I said, "You know what? It's no big deal. You know what?" I said, "You put so much effort." I said, "Don't let anybody tell you what to do. Put you down. You take your time." I saw this guy 5 years later in a lineup downtown. I was working downtown. He tapped me on the shoulder. He says, "You remember me?" And I didn't recognize him, right? Because he lost quite a bit of weight. And he told me, met at the gym 5. He said, "You inspired me
Yeah.
5 years ago." 5 years ago, he inspired me. He said, "You're the only guy that came up to me in that gym the way you look." Because I was more muscular back then. He said, "You know what? I didn't think a guy wanted to talk to me, a guy like you, talking to a guy like me." I said, "Buddy, I don't care how you look. It's eyes and the heart that makes me matter. That makes me matter." And now what he's doing, this is like a while back, he got inspired from his own training and people talking to him and me. He started doing it like mentoring other people now and training other people. And that just moved on from there. So that's just what you can say to a person, like you said, the personal trainer, like if you had these guys training these guys and they can say a certain word or whatever, you can just, put them off, right? Just put them off the whole the curriculum of being interested in working out, and that looks and you would take it badly personally, I think, because you hire these guys and they're not what you think they are. So I say just keep looking. You'll find the right guy. Just be patient. I know it's hard,
Yeah.
right?
And the fitness community can be a little rough too.
Yeah.
Especially I find the bodybuilding community is a little like, you're not big enough, you're not cut enough. They
I
judge
know
the
it's
heck
so
out of you.
I get that a lot.
So I don't. I was involved in that for years, and I didn't like it. And
No.
then when I started in this gym, the day I walked in, I saw a guy do a snatch, a little bit lifting.
Hmm.
Are you familiar with that?
Yeah,
And I
snatch, yeah.
saw that, and I'm like, I want to do that. And I got
Yeah,
addicted to it. And it's a whole different community.
yeah,
Nobody judges nobody cares.
yeah.
All my training buddies are 10 years younger than me, and they're way further. I was with them on Tuesday at another gym, and they're screaming at me, "Yeah, yeah, Kehoe, you're amazing." No one judges you at all. No one cares. They're all there to push you and be on the same team. It's a
It's
whole
because
different
it's a
community.
private gym, right?
Yeah, the other one I was at was at Can-Am. It's another spot there in town.
And this one's
That's where
more.
I
Oh, that's
train there with one
cool.
of my buddies.
That's
It's not
cool,
where I
man.
work. I just work out with my buddies over there.
Oh, that's cool. Wow, wow. So can I ask how many clientele do you have right now? Do you have quite a bit? Like you said, you're
Right now,
busy.
it's pretty full. Off the top of my head, I've got 15, 20, something like that.
That keeps you busy, right? And do you train like say a guy with autism? Do you train them every second day, or you go by how he's working out that day, or do you like say you book in advance? You just say we go by day, or what?
We have a schedule, and most people are like 2 or 3 times a week. And then I also, for the back in December, I actually just got off the phone with them before I came on here. Is I trained a group at a community center, all with various disabilities, so 20 people at once.
Wow,
So I'm
it's
doing it
amazing.
again in 3 weeks. We just booked a date. So that was a different experience. 'Cause I've worked with 2 or 3 at the same time, but not 15 and 20. That was a whole different kit and caboodle.
How was that? That must have been kind of something, eh?
I was nervous for about 30 seconds, and then I clicked like this, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to go home. Let's just keep going.
That's good. So now are you like regular on for to train these groups for like a regular
Yeah,
basis?
I've had since I released the video at the beginning of the week, I've had 2 other ones I have to email later on today, but it's because again, I like to talk, as you can tell, I'm a chatterbox. I don't have a shy bone in my body. Somebody wants to talk, I'm coming over. Let's go.
Cool. Did you expect such
Um,
a feedback from you putting your video on the Facebook? Like, me calling you and other people just getting contact. I guess they just been on demand right now since the video came on or
I
the app.
I didn't expect it to be this crazy, and I this time of the usually this time of the year you get the New Year's resolution crowd, the
Yeah.
people that are trying to lose. But I didn't get any of that. I got all the people I wanted to work with, my disability clients. I just got wolfed with them all of
Wow.
a sudden. I'm like, what? Why did it just all of a sudden happen now?
That's great. So how's it feel? Just get that old entourage just come right at you, bang, boom,
Oh, it's amazing. It's exciting.
Well, what did you predict? Did you predict maybe like 3 or 4 people or 10 or what?
I just the last time last year I let some young marketing students do the ads for me, and it didn't really work. And I looked at them over, and I'm like, okay, these are good, but it doesn't sound like me. It's too plain. It's too robotic. So I went out there and I spoke in these ads like Shaun Kehoe,
And
and
you get
everything just went whoosh.
and you got a good video guy, the guy that did your video, like the whole
Oh
introduction. That was
yeah,
great. Yeah, that was so nice.
capital content. Look him up. He's amazing.
Yeah. But
I'm doing another one with him.
how did you find him? Like, did he contact you or what?
He's a friend. He's a friend of a friend.
Okay, so that's how it happened, right?
But we're working on another one right now that I'm putting out in March. Look out.
Oh, cool. Cool. That's
It's
great.
one I've been
So
waiting on forever. I can't wait for this one.
that's great. So how do you work for like what do you recommend for diet? Like do you also advise them on diet things according
Yeah,
to
we work on it. It depends how they're eating,
yeah.
but as long as it's not too bad, I'm not one of these people that you have to measure your carbohydrates and your protein.
I know.
You don't need that, okay? You got enough going on in life. Okay, you need to eat healthy. That's all you got to do.
I got a list of carbohydrates. I gotta eat this by this day, so like really? Are you serious?
You don't need that. If you're
No.
healthy enough and you're eating healthy, you don't have to do that. It's okay. They got enough going on in life. As long as you're not overdoing it on the junk food and you have your treats here and there, and you're gonna enjoy life, not get mad at yourself because you had a donut.
I know,
You
I
wanted
know.
one that day. Who
You probably know
cares?
you probably know guys like regular muscle guys. I know guys like I got a whole bunch of Italian guys, buddies. They're all like bodybuilders. They're all like, "Come on, you gotta do this." And like one day I give it. I come back. One day I came on purpose in the gym with a big thing of Italian pizza, their favorite pizza place. It's like, come on, let's have some pizza before you work out. Oh my gosh, they thought they sinned in the sign of their faith or whatever. It was hilarious. It was like I can't touch it. I'm a sinner. Leave it alone.
Yeah,
you
as
know.
long as you don't overdo it, there's a time and place for everything.
Oh yeah, you have to have your well, it's called junk days. Working out, like I had that when I was working out. All
I
the time.
don't
Like
get the concept over at Planet Fitness where you get a membership and a pizza. I don't really get that one.
really, yeah,
They
I
give
didn't
you
know
a pizza when you get a membership.
that. That's hilarious. I didn't know that. Wow. What
So
a
I don't
whole
really
pizza or
understand
just
that concept, but
a
okay,
whole pizza or just a slice of pizza?
something like that. I can't. It's been a year since I went in there, but yeah.
This is
But
Planet Fitness. I never knew. They never. I never seen that for that. That's a new one.
yeah, they totally do that. I find it ridiculous.
So basically, their ad is
But
we want you. Come on, join us when we will feed you and make you fat, and we'll make you fit again. That's what they're saying.
but if you don't mind me going back a bit, I just another story just popped in my head
Yeah, go
that
ahead.
sort of got me to where I'm going right now. Because when I was 25, I felt trapped in life. I was having too many seizures, couldn't go to school, couldn't go to work, couldn't do anything. Felt like I was going nowhere in life. Almost took my life a couple times. And then I was placed in this rehab center with a group. So like we work on coping skills. I don't remember anything from the class, but it changed my life because on the last day, we all decided to go out just as a goodbye for the group and everything. And at the end of the night, one of the guys in the group, Richard, dropped me off, and I'll never forget this moment till I'm dead. I just say, thanks, Richard. You've been a great friend, great guy in the group. I go to step out of his truck and he grabs me by the shoulder and he pulls me back in. I'm like, he's like, Shaun, I want you to have this. And he hands over, gives me a little medallion. You're the only one that came over and talked to me every day I showed up. You're the only one that cared. You're the reason I showed up every day. You're the reason I stayed in the group. And he gave me that medallion. It's right beside my bed every night. And it just, when I stepped out of that truck, my brain just sort of went, wow, I'm not useless. Just because I can't go to school and I can't go to work doesn't mean I'm not, like, I'm still a person. I can still help people. I can still do things. And my life did a 180 after that. I called the city of Ottawa. I started volunteering at the Ottawa Valley Brain Injury Association, who I then met a gentleman who got me on omega-3 fish oil that helps out my seizures. Then I started working, and then everything just went after that.
Wow. That's like a book in itself, what you just said. My gosh.
Yeah, I know, but
Trial and
that's the
error.
first time I've ever gotten through that story without crying.
That's
Is
amazing.
this
You make me cry.
he
Don't
gave me that
you're
he
making
gave
me
me that
cry.
medallion, and life just changed after
Wow.
that.
That's what you said about the fish oils help you with your seizures. I never knew that.
Yeah, I started. I'm not saying I'm not Dr. Oz here. Like, take fish oil, you'll never have a seizure. That's ridiculous. But it was a piece of the puzzle. The surgeries, the meds, working out, and we just needed something else to get my seizures under control. And a gentleman that I met that has been studying fish oil for years suggested I try it. So I started with the capsules,
Hmm.
and I was so I would go about a month with no seizures, and a week where I'd have about 20, like
Hmm.
3 a day. A month with none, week with a whole bunch. And then he told me to switch over to the liquid that it gets in your bloodstream better and it's all that stuff. Started taking it, and a month went by, and another month went by, and another month went by. Everybody was just sitting there waiting for me to have a seizure. Didn't happen. It's been over
Wow.
14 years now. I went to my neurologist. I'll never forget this till I'm dead. I walk in there and here's your clobazam, here's your primidone. She'll have 20 a week. I'm like, I haven't had one in 6 months. And he literally just, for a good 5 seconds, he was just sitting there. I'm like, are you okay? So
And you got the PhD? That's funny, huh?
you haven't had a seizure in 6 months? What in the name of the Lord?
That's
So I've
funny.
done a lot of speaking about it. I spoke at City Hall about it a couple of years ago. I went to Toronto. I was in Toronto speaking to the MPPs about it
Wow.
5 years ago, 5 years ago. So I'm very vocal about what I've been through and trying to help other people.
At least
Just
you're
to
honest.
not to say
That's
that
you're not putting
fish
up a
oil
front.
changed everything, but to
Yeah.
just keep looking at different things. You
Different
don't know
things,
what
right?
it's going to be.
Yeah. That's what people like
Whatever
about
your
you.
condition is, whatever you're going through, you don't know what it's going to be.
So
That
what
helps
made
you. It
you
helps turn you around.
like all these what made you not want to give up? Gave you a point where you're like everything that's happened to you, like honestly, wow. But I'm just saying, like, is there a point that you could say I'm not gonna give up on anything no matter what? You ever get to a point like, because people in the gym, they're reminding this, they look at you or people talk to you, but you're very vocal, you're very honest. And that's what kills people, right? They can't handle that, the honesty. You're dealing basically you're trying to not people want to be perfect the way they look, but they also at the same time they're also showing their vulnerability, which is what you show. You're showing your vulnerability, not being vulnerable, but you're showing your core inside, not being weak, but you're just being strong. By being a stronger guy, the way you talk about yourself and express yourself, you're honest with everything you just told me. Like, where you're not putting up. People have this image. I gotta be the perfect, in front of somebody, and I can't show any flaws or any discrepancies, or I got a tick or whatever. And I know guys like that. They gotta have perfection all the way, and it's so boring. It is.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not like that at all.
no, I know. I got two guys like that. They always have the answer to everything. I said to one guy, I said, buddy, you're so boring. You got the you know everything. I was in the military. You know more in the military than I did. You've never been in the military. How do you know all that? That's ego, right? Ego takes over. So it's amazing.
I've had my down times, and I've almost took my life a whole bunch of times. So
You have to.
it's
You do.
it's
You know.
not easy. It's been a whole formula of different things. I had my son young. He kept me going. Like, I can't leave him.
How old's your son now?
Uh, he's 23. He lives in
Is he in the?
Halifax.
Is he in the video? In the one? Is
No,
he in the
no, no,
one?
no. He's on the video. He lives in Halifax. He's a nurse. Uh,
Oh, wow.
um,
And you keep in contact with your son all the time?
yeah, he. But he's growing up too fast. He's enjoying the world. Finished checking the world out. And then it just I keep telling. And then there was another song too. The song "The River" by Garth Brooks. It's all
Yeah.
about not giving up.
Yeah.
I would just put this song on repeat and lie on the floor and just let myself bawl my eyes out. Going, I can't quit. I can't give up. Come on, Shaun, you're gonna get through this. And I would do that for like an hour.
That's amazing.
There were days where one side of my head is going, just do it, Shaun. You're just wasting everybody's time. You're having seizures every day. You're 23 years old. You're going nowhere. Just go. Just get out of here. And I had to fight it.
And that's good. What you fought for, most people don't realize what's happening, right? It's amazing. So, I was going to ask you, you have any junk foods you like yourself? Mine is donuts and chocolate. I'm not supposed to eat it.
I have a sweet tooth.
Oh, you
So
do? Yeah. I'm a baker by trade or by craft or whatever. I like making all kinds of stuff, especially Christmas time. So,
yeah,
not
I got a
supposed to.
sweet tooth. So
Yeah.
I'm a big cheesecake fan.
You like, oh, you see, I like cheesecake? Yeah.
And
Yeah. I
then
can't.
anything sour when it comes to Like sour stuff. Oh my God.
Like sour, like the sour. What do they call those sour drops, the candies? And then they got the what do you call it? The sourdough bread, or sour spots, or whatever.
Anything sour, I like.
So cool.
And
Wow. I was gonna
the only
ask you.
time that I get the only time I get crazy cravings for them is when I'm well overtired and I'm burnt out. But
Yeah,
usually I can keep it, just have a treat here
yeah.
and
You
there.
feel like you're having a long day.
Oh,
I did that before. I'll go to get some junk food after a day of working outside, or whatever, and I'll just go.
those are
Ah,
the times.
I
Those
need
are
a
the times
fix.
where I dip a little bit and have a little bit too much when I'm just
Yeah, yeah,
exhausted.
yeah. And you,
But I try to get out of that rhythm,
yeah,
but just every now and then I'm just
yeah. You
okay.
got it. Yeah, we all, it's all you. We're all being human. We're not being in that strict schedule. I got to be a certain thing or whatever, or whatever. What's the? I was gonna say, what do you like? For me, water's the best for everything. People have these Gatorades and all these different sports drinks. What do you feel about that?
No, water's the way to go,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
I'll have a Gatorade here and there, but I'm a water. I've got water with me 24/7. So
yeah. Like,
there
I
you
see guys.
go.
They bring their. I see guys in the gym. They bring their food with them. Their Tupperware. And they're like working out. And then
Oh,
they go have some lunch, and they go back to working out. I go, what are you guys doing, man? You know?
I don't do that. But if you saw how small I am, how much I eat, you just shake your head. Going, how does this guy? I don't know what it is. My dad's side of the family. My dad's not a big guy either. He eats like a horse.
Yeah.
So you see me eat.
Oh, so you eat small? You're a big eater?
No, I'm a big eater.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big guy. I'm a small guy, and some people are like, "How do you put that down?"
So cool. Yeah, I got a buddy like I had a my friend. He's Jamaican Chinese. He's like 135. He'll eat like 3 meals in front of us. And like he's skinny as a rag. I go, where do you put that, man? And he's like
Yeah.
he's in his 30s. He hasn't changed since.
Well, my girlfriend's family get a kick out of it. So whenever we're at her grandmother's for a special event, the kids will go eat first, and whenever they can't finish, Sean, they just dump it on my plate and tell me to finish it. I'm like, okay, let's
That's like
go.
I said, like when I started working out with the weights years ago, I started eating more, like getting more when I get bigger. They got to the point like family and friends didn't invite me to their house anymore because I used to meet them out of house and home. Like oh, the dinner was great, the 5 course meal. You got anything in the fridge you got there, buddy? Oh, what's that looking there? That looks like a roast. So now I used to get fewer. When I didn't work out as much, I got more invites. When I got worked out, I got fewer invites. Go figure, eh?
And that's from lucky because my girlfriend's family get a kick at how much I eat, so it's
That's good.
hilarious.
That's good. How long you been with your girlfriend now?
4 years.
4 years. Does she work out herself or train herself?
Yeah, she's not a diehard like I am, but she trains and she works out.
Good.
So we
So,
have a garage gym at home, so
oh,
it's right
cool,
there.
cool. Uh, so you've been doing it 15 years now training, right? So what did you say out of the year? What are your peak times for like the most you get busy? Like right now you got clientele in January, right? The whole Christmas crowd, New Year's crowd. What about like late through the year? When are you most busy? Like when do you have your quiet times for yourself?
So quiet times in the summer. Everybody's on vacation.
Yeah,
So this time of the year it's bananas because everybody's getting back into the work school schedule and they're ready to jump into some exercise.
yeah.
Then in the summer sort of cools off a little bit. And then in the fall, when people go back to school and back to work, it just turns into bananas again.
Have you been offered any like so do like presentations in high schools like kids with special needs or whatever, like go and just present
Yeah, there's
yourself?
all kinds of. I work with a school, St. Paul's High School. I work with them. One of their teachers is going to be
Oh, Sean, I
retiring.
got one.